which is the Elimination Chamber. I mean, what can we say about the Elimination Chamber? It's what a crazy concept. I mean, first, it was formed in 2002. I think the original Elimination Chamber was in Survivor Series in 2002. It was in Madison Square Garden. Back during that time, it was still Raw versus SmackDown, so there was very much brand exclusivity when it comes to specific match types and concepts. And Eric Bischoff introduced this concept as a way of outdoing SmackDown. I think SmackDown had Hell in a Cell as their own match type during that time, and then he created the Hell in a Cell. And funny story, so in Germany, if you called it the Elimination Chamber and you translate it in German, they had to rename it because it had too close of a connotation to gas chambers in the Holocaust.
I was gonna
So they
say.
actually, yeah, they had to change it to, I think it was No Escape. So,
Not much better.
yeah, some unfortunate translation issues there for the Elimination Chamber in Germany. um, but some little German trivia there. And originally, I mean, the blueprint, they talk about this when they have all these like PLEs and introductions and stuff. They talk about the structure. It uses 2 miles of chain. It weighs 10 tons, and they called it a living weapon. And I remember when they said that that plexiglass was bulletproof glass and nothing can get through that shit.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, they said it was bulletproof. And then we can talk about, when Mark Henry's like plexiglass thing came off and he was still in the pod. And, like, what are you supposed to do? Like, common sense means like, hey, I should probably get out of this shit. Like, do I just stay here when there's clearly an opening? So anyway, what do you guys, let's just first start like the Elimination Chamber as a concept and as a match. Chris, what do you think of the Elimination Chamber? Do you like it? Do you like that concept?
Yeah, it's always fun. I mean, the giant metal circular chamber with a bunch of people in pods, and there's a countdown, and yeah, it's great.
David, what do you think about the Elimination Chamber?
I like it. I remember the first one and like all the stuff leading up to it. Like I think that might be like one of the most pay-per-views I asked for. And I remember like my mom wasn't gonna do it, so like I kept like remember how if you sat on the last cable channels how you might see something?
Mm-hmm.
I sat on the pay-per-view channel until it went away, and then she was like, "Fine, here."
Oh man, I remember those days. I think the first Elimination Chamber me and Chris watched. What the hell? No, 2006 had the New Year's Revolution one. We didn't watch that one. I think what the hell did they have in 2007? I think like for a little bit they had them during like No Way Out pay-per-views. So the Elimination Chamber was like a No Way Out feature. It might have been like involving like Jeff Hardy and all those people, but yeah, it was like 2007, 2008 that we saw. And just the concept itself, I mean, it is like part Royal Rumble where you have like the countdown, or part War Games, part Hell in a Cell because you're in a giant steel structure. And I mean, that shit, like the original structure and concept had no give. Like it really fucked up people's knees. This wasn't because of the structure, but like Triple H in the first match got his like windpipe crushed by Rob Van Dam for doing like the 5-star flock splash immediately on his like trachea and just fucking like crushed his like windpipe. And Triple H kept doing the match. Like he still had a decent chunk in there. So just like bodies get injured constantly. Lots of people's knees got fucked up. And I think around like it's like 2016 or 15, they changed the way the Elimination Chamber was built and structured. And I think they added a little bit more padding to those outside cage, whatever you want to call it, the grates that are outside. So yeah, I mean, like it's an unforgiving steel structure, and it does look awesome. I think it's like one of the last uh, awesome original concepts that were created, that WWE created. I mean, there are other concepts that people have tried, like WCW had those stacked Hell in a Cell cages. I forgot what the name of it
The
was, but what was it?
triple stacker, no, no, just calling it a
Three
burger.
stages of hell. I don't even know, but
Triple
like, yeah,
stack,
no, yeah, like
no bacon.
it was in Ready to Rumble, wasn't it? Wasn't that in
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah.
And I think wrestlers didn't want to do it because that shit was so high. Once you got to that top, like you just had people scared of heights, just how
once
tall
you're
that
in the
shit
10 by
was.
10 cube at the very
Yeah.
top.
Bring
Yeah.
back
I
the
mean like
Punjabi prison match.
Yeah, I mean, like that's an interesting concept too, and we can talk about it because I think it was in the No Mercy pay per view that we'll review. The Punjab was it I think that might have been the first Punjabi prison match.
Yeah.
But anyway, like that was an interesting concept, but I don't think it holds a candle to like the Elimination Chamber. Like the Punjabi prison match is kind of a glorified steel cage. I mean, I guess you could say that as the Elimination Chamber, but I don't know. It's just a cool concept. So I
Sharp
want to just talk
bamboo.
about, yeah, sharp bamboo gets stabbed, I guess. But I do want to talk about just, the people, the participants, the matches that you guys like remember in these matches. And there are some like categories that I put together, and I want to talk about like the first category, which is like S tier, God tier participants in these elimination chamber matches. So here's some like I think top tier wrestlers who participated. So Triple H, I think, is one of the prime examples of being an S tier wrestler when it comes to the Elimination Chamber. So he actually, I think he still holds the record for the most wins. So he's won 4 Elimination Chambers, and he won 4 of the first 8 that were ever held. And I think a lot of people consider him one of the masters of the Elimination Chamber. And then you also have John Cena, and John Cena, I think, ties Triple H, or he's pretty damn close with the amount of Elimination Chamber wins. Um, but I think the difference between a Triple H and a John Cena is for John Cena, when he won the Elimination Chamber, I think there were at least 2 separate times where then he lost the title immediately after winning. So it was New Year's Revolution when he lost to Edge in 2006, and then he lost to Batista, I think it was in 2010. And then Chris Jericho, and here's another one like where I think Chris Jericho can maybe pop up in Chicago, because Chris Jericho, when it comes to Elimination Chambers, he is also up there as like one of those S tier guys. And he's eliminated, I think he's eliminated probably the most. And according to the records, he's eliminated 10 people, and that's the current record. So despite all those eliminations, though, he only won 1 chamber match, and that was in 2010. And then, of course, Shawn Michaels, who won the first ever Elimination Chamber match. So, I mean, who do you guys think, like, out of those 4, who do you feel like is, like, the top tier Elimination Chamber guy? Or do you have someone
Goldberg.
else in mind? Goldberg?
Goldberg
Yeah.
was in the first one.
I don't think I think he was in the second one. He was
the
in the
second one.
2003 one. Yeah.
Wasn't he wrecking
But I think-
motherfuckers?
Yeah, I mean, like he was pretty dominant in that one. I think that one was also the shortest Elimination Chamber ever, because how quickly
Goldberg was in it.
he went through the people. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I didn't mention Goldberg, but I think the fact that I think that was the second Elimination Chamber, and just the way that he mowed through all those people. But in that match, Triple H ended up winning that Elimination Chamber, and is like biker shorts or whatever he was wearing. I don't know why he was wearing like it was like. Do you remember that match? He like the red Triple H like underwear, but he had like these biker shorts that kind of looked like they were going over it. I don't know if that was like another quad issue or what it was, or he just thought he wanted to change up his attire. But yeah, I mean, I think Goldberg is up there. So if you had Goldberg versus like the other four guys that I mentioned, would you still say Goldberg? 'Cause
Hell
I feel
yeah,
like Triple
brother.
H is probably
I mean, Triple H is up
up
there.
there.
But I would say if we're talking that era Goldberg, I would say Goldberg, bro. Hell yeah.
David, do you agree?
Shawn Michaels.
I feel like
Steen?
you gotta. How many has he been in? I feel like, oh man, I think it was like it was either like two or three. I don't think he was in too many.
Chris
And
Benoit off the top, baby, with that headbutt. Boom.
one of them, Shawn Michaels
That's
wasn't
the one
even
that
in
did
the
it.
chamber. He was in the one where he popped up through the grate and then
That was
kicked the
2010.
Undertaker. Yeah,
That
I
was the
think that
Jericho one.
was. Yeah. You're right. So that I think that was also the same one where that was the one where Undertaker got set on fire, I think, by the entrance. Because I remember watching it live, and I don't know. I think they caught it. They caught a glimpse of it because then they shot over to the chamber. Do you remember this, Chris?
Nope.
So okay, so I think if I tell you this, if I tell you the entrance, then you'll remember. So it was. I think you're right. It's Elimination Chamber 2010, and then when he enters, you had all like the pyro that's going off on the sides, and then when he's walking to like the center of the stage, he stays in a specific part where the fire. He basically pulled like a James Hetfield or like a Michael Jackson, and then the fire like hits him, and then he immediately starts running, throws his cloak off and then starts running towards the chamber into his pod. And then he has to be like dousing himself in like water bottles because he got like second degree burn. So he's basically trying to like uh, make sure he's not set up like his burns don't bubble up and stuff while he's waiting, to get his number. So I don't know if you remember that, but yeah,
Damn,
that
no,
was
I'm
some
gonna have to
crazy shit.
rewatch that.
Yeah, like it was literally like Metallica set on fire. Like it was like fire. And I think what saved him was having that cloak on him because I think he would have gotten much worse burns. But that pyrotechnic guy probably got fired that night. I don't think he can keep your job and burn the Undertaker in the
He's
same.
already dead. Who cares?
That's true, but I guess that would put it to the test. So yeah, I agree. I think Goldberg is a good one. I do think Triple H, and I mean John Cena does tie with him, and John Cena in the era of the Elimination Chambers in his career, like he crosses paths with a lot of these chambers. So I mean, you have to give John Cena his flowers when it comes to the performances in there. I don't think they're all the most acrobatic though. So that's kind of like the next section that I wanted to talk about. And that's like those crazy high spots, the workhorses, the Kofi Kingstons, the Ricochets, the John Morrisons. They put some crazy spots in there. Randy Orton, I mean, I didn't put him in the S tier, but I think he should probably be up there because as a performer, he actually has the most appearances in history at 9 matches. So he's been in at least 9 Elimination Chamber matches. But in those 9 matches, he only won once, and that was in 2014. So I don't know, like, if you're in 9 Elimination Chamber matches, do you feel like Randy Orton? How would you rank Randy Orton in terms of like
Sounds like he
Elimination
sucks.
Chamber?
If you're a 9 of them, you
Yeah.
only won one.
Skip the next
Yeah.
one, Randy.
Yeah, I mean, like he had great matches in the chambers themselves, but I mean, if we're just talking about pure statistics and you only win one, I think you're probably not of the same tier as like a John Cena or a Triple H. And then Rob Van Dam, I mean, I mentioned in the first Elimination Chamber match, he did a 5-star frog splash off the pod, and he crushed Triple H's trachea. And he's the reason why they eventually added the safety padding to the floor, but that wasn't until like many chambers later. So, I mean, crazy shit from Rob Van Dam. And in 2019, Kofi Kingston, I think, deserves a mention because, I mean, that's the Kofi Mania. That's the road to Kofi Mania in 2019. I think he survived over, it was like 40 minutes, whatever that was. But he lasted there quite a while. I'm trying to think like what other like high risk workhorses can you guys think of in the chamber?
Jeff Hardy.
Liv Morgan.
Jeff Hardy?
Jeff Harvey.
Liv Morgan.
Jeff Hardy. Liv Morgan? Yeah, I mean, I didn't talk about the women yet at all. Liv Morgan, I mean, like I remember Tiffany Stratton. Was it last year when they were in
Perth?
No, Perth was 2023, I think, because 24 was Toronto. That was like the John Cena heel turn.
Oh yeah.
Elimination Chamber PLE. So that must have been, it must have been 2023. That was Perth. And that's where Tiffany Stratton did like that. I think she did that perfect flip off like the top of the pot. Or did she do a flip or did she do like a crossbody? Either way, crazy shit. I would put her up there. And Liv Morgan, I mean, that's another one. Yeah. The amount of shit that they do, I don't know, like if I was in their position that I would go up to the top of the pod and I don't know. It's not worth it for me. I forgot the other one. John Morrison. Do you guys remember this spot where he goes and climbs to like the very top of the chamber? Like he's climbing all the way to the top and he's at that ceiling part.
Oh, he's like Spider-Man on that shit.
Yeah. And then he flips backwards and then does a crossbody. It might have even been on fucking, it wasn't on Big Daddy V, was it? I forgot who he did it on.
Rest in peace.
Yeah. But is he dead?
Pretty sure.
Viscera?
Yeah, pretty sure he is.
Wait, let's double check before we say that Viscera's dead.
Don't worry, I'll edit it out. It'll be like, it's a secret. Yeah, he died in 2014. I know I wasn't tripping.
Oh, shit. That's crazy. Yeah, you're right.
I wasn't
Oh,
tripping.
man.
We're breaking news.
Right. Breaking news, 12
Yeah,
years.
the foresight.
Too late.
Right? Happened tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Damn. Okay. I totally forgot about that. So yeah, I think it was Big Daddy V. I think he was in that match, but I think John Morrison deserves a shout out to being like one of the most entertaining guys. Craziest spots in the Elimination Chamber, I think, went to John Morrison. I think Jeff Hardy's another good one too. Especially like during that era of like 2008, 9, 10. I think he was still in the company until 2010. He was doing that was like when people really wanted him to win the WWE championship, and then he kind of shot himself in the foot with the drug wellness policy violations and kind of derailed his push.
Was Victory
around
Road
that time.
2010? What year was that? 2011, 2010?
Victory Road. Oh, you're talking about TNA? I think it was 2010, 2011.
Right after he
Might have
left
been
WWE.
2012, Victory
2011.
Road. You're talking about with like Sting and him coming out drugged out of his mind, and then Eric Bischoff had to walk down and then give a new finish.
Yep.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. Yeah, I think that was like a year after he left WWE. And then he jumped over there. It might have been like around the same time when they were doing the Monday Night War stuff with TNA, and then he showed up in TNA with like short hair and stuff, from what I remember. But yeah, I think he's a great example of a high workhorse. And of course, you guys mentioned some crazy like giant monsters who just kind of smashed through a bunch of people. You brought up Brock Lesnar, or not Brock Lesnar, Goldberg, Jesus.
Same
And
thing.
Shayna Baszler, speaking of like the women, Shayna Baszler, and this is one I had to look up because I didn't see this specific Elimination Chamber match, but apparently she's the only person in history to eliminate every single other participant in her match, and that was the 2020 Elimination Chamber match. And I didn't realize Shayna Baszler had that big of a push.
During
I didn't-
COVID.
yeah, I didn't realize they pushed her that hard because like when I came back in 2022, they didn't position Shayna Baszler as
Ooh, Dustin
anyone
from Stranger Things.
worthwhile. Yeah. um, but yeah, I mean that was a crazy thing to read. And then Braun Strowman in 2018, he eliminated 5 people in a single match, but then lost the match to Roman Reigns. I mean, I don't know. Like, if you're in that position where you like eliminate 5 people, but then you lose the match anyway, does that still count as being dominant? You couldn't get the job done.
Yeah, I'd say so in that
I
match.
think so.
Yeah, I mean, I think just the fact that you were able to do it, you just kind of, couldn't get the job done, but you still looked like a badass. And I think in 2022, I'm pretty sure we saw this chamber, and that was where Lesnar was in it. And I think he broke the record of winning in the shortest time possible in the chamber.
Every time he threw a theory, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, and we joked around December to Dismember, and David joked around, or I don't know, maybe it is your favorite Elimination Chamber match of all time. I do vividly remember this was like the one pay-per-view that I think me and Chris missed during that time in 2006. Was it 06 or 07? It was one of the two. There was December to Dismember, and they had an Extreme Rules Elimination Chamber match, and they had CM Punk in there. They had Bobby Lashley in there. They had the vampire guy, I think. I forgot his name. Let me look it up real quick. But yeah, not a great match for in terms of like ranking them. I think it's probably the one of the lowest. And I think not too long after that, Paul Heyman got fired from WWE because it was one of the lowest performing pay-per-views in history. So it was originally December in 2006, and it was scheduled to be held again in 2007. Oh, Big Show, of course. I forgot. Yeah, Big Show was the ECW champion. Yeah, that was your ECW
Oh yeah.
hardcore people.
The big extreme.
No more BS.
Yeah, I think people were upset because it was okay. So it was Big Show. Well, it was Big Show was the champion going into it, and then it was Bobby Lashley, Test. I'm not gonna say of all people because rest in peace, because I think Test has also passed away. Rob Van Dam, Hardcore Holly, and CM Punk. So the difference between an Elimination Chamber match and an Extreme Elimination Chamber match is that they were allowed weapons in there, and I guess that makes it extreme. But this was, I think, where they were trying to position Bobby Lashley as like a dominant champion heel. And I like, this is the Bobby Lashley I remember, and I was like really surprised that he showed up like many years later. I think he came back like what 2017, something like that. And then they put the WWE Championship on him, and he had the Hurt Business and all that kind of stuff. But initially, when they brought Bobby Lashley in, Yeah, I mean, people weren't the biggest fans of him at the time. I think people were expecting or hoping someone like a CM Punk or a Rob Van Dam to, last longer in the match. And the match was only 24 minutes long. And CM Punk got eliminated pretty early in that match at December to Dismember. So it wasn't well received. I think maybe it would be interesting to watch it again, just to watch it with fresh eyes. But back then, people did not like that Elimination Chamber match. Um, so yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think the best Elimination Chamber match, I think the most memorable one, and that's maybe because I have watched it, like the Shawn Michaels documentary and stuff, is the one where Shawn Michaels wins that World Heavyweight Championship in the first Elimination Chamber. I think it's up there. The one with was it Batista? That was Batista 2010. I don't think he was in the match, but the one in 2010, with Shawn Michaels interfering and kicking Undertaker, I think that had just had great pacing. But yeah, like, what do you guys think in terms of like Elimination Chamber matches? What memories or thoughts kind of stick out to you the most? Because there are like 36 different chamber matches at this point. Were there any like moments or things that kind of stuck out for you guys
As
in the
cool,
decades that it's been here?
I was just gonna say, as cool as the it that match is, it always felt kind of like a. When did it become a pay-per-view versus like just being a match?
2000, I think it was like 2010, 2011. That's when they started calling it Elimination Chamber, the pay-per-view.
And was that always like before like a WrestleMania?
I think at that point, then it started being like that road to WrestleMania thing where they were using it as an opportunity for other people to get the other championship. There were some exceptions to the rule because there was an Elimination Chamber match for the Intercontinental Championship, and there was also a tag team Elimination Chamber match, and it was basically tag teams in a pod, but the New Day went in the match as a three piece, and then everyone else just had their other partner. So like going in, they already had the edge because you had three people, and all the other tag teams had two, and they had a trio, which didn't make sense. So yeah, so they had those.
I was just gonna say, it always felt like this transitional kind of thing. So like nothing really like really sticks out. I just remember like Triple H being very dominant in a lot of these matches because he's been in a lot of them. But yeah, like it's not really until recently I really appreciate the Elimination Chamber itself. It's like
Mhm.
you know.
David, what do you think in terms of like Elimination Chambers? Like, what sticks out for you?
Uh, I think like the Goldberg spot where he speared Jericho through the pod.
Yeah.
Uh, Anytime anybody gets thrown through a pod, I think it's cool, or like they have to kick themselves out, like Goldberg again or Brock.
hmm And I think it was 2003. I mean, it was the Goldberg, but Kevin Nash lasted like 2 minutes and 5 seconds
Hey, he got paid,
in the
baby. That's
chamber.
all that matters. The Big Daddy cool, baby.
So let me ask you guys this. So Jericho has the most eliminations, but Triple H has the most wins. So if you had to pick which one is actually the king of the chamber, who would you give it to? Do you look at it more about surviving or winning?
Definitely winning.
Winning, baby.
So Triple H and John Cena, I think, ties them. So I guess it could be Cena or Triple H.
I'd go H over Cena.
Triple H.
Triple H, baby. I do think
He was
like
in there with dogs.
Yep.
yeah. I mean, I
Not
think
like
Triple
Cena.
H like defined the chamber and just kind of added that yeah, it just kind of like messes you up and just like him getting messed up in the first chamber And again, like winning 4 different times, I think like that solidifies him as being like the top guy. Um,
It was him too that with the light was
Yeah.
funny and it made him look like he had a beard in the pod, right?
oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
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 And then yeah, I mean Randy Orton, Edge, they all do some pretty crazy spots. And Undertaker, I mean, I think the Undertaker was always a favorite when it came to the Chamber. Um, and then Kofi Kingston, I think he was also great at doing crazy spots. Even though he never actually, I don't think, ever won the match. And yeah, I mean, his original theme song is still a banger, even though he's not from Jamaica. But I
He's
think
not?
that's still a banger of a song. And then yeah, I mean, like Roman Reigns, I think he won once, something like that.
SOS.
But yeah, I mean, like Roman Reigns. I mean, the Elimination Chamber, and we're of course having the one in Chicago, and I think it's shaping up to be an interesting lineup. I think so far we had Cody Rhodes in there, we got Randy Orton, we got LA Knight on the men's side. I think who is on the women's side? Pretty sure. Oh, Alexa Bliss qualifies. Rhea Ripley is on the show. And Tiffany Stratton. So yeah, so far that's what we got in terms of the Elimination Chamber. Of course, it's going to fill up more after this recording when Raw and SmackDown get their additional qualifier matches. But I mean, I'm excited for this show. We also have the Intercontinental Championship match with AJ Lee versus Becky Lynch. And I thought they were going to save it for the WrestleMania, either night 1 or night 2. But I think it's a good environment to have it in Chicago with AJ Lee, especially because she came back, she got a giant pop, and you also have the World Championship match against Finn Balor. I don't think Finn Balor is going to win that match, but maybe they'll surprise us and somehow just swerve or add him into a triple threat. I don't know. Do you guys think that Finn Balor has a chance in hell to beat CM Punk at the
That'd
Elimination
be
Chamber?
sweet.
He should.
Why not?
I mean, he lost the first time.
I mean,
You got to win this time.
He's
Can't
got a
make him a
score to settle
loser.
with Roman.
That's true. Unless some crazy shit happens, maybe they have some weird
Hope he comes
storyline.
out as the demon.
Mm-hmm.
That would be sick, and I think he'd get a big pop. But yeah, that'll be interesting. And of course, we'll be there capturing all the footage. We'll be posting leading up to the show. And Chris, I guess you'll watch it on ESPN or whatever
Commentary.
you're gonna watch it on.
From the
Yeah,
couch.
you got to do some commentary. Yeah, you got to do some couch commentary.
Watch along.
Instagram Live.
Yeah. Do you think I should get like a fat head or whatever to just have our faces so you can pinpoint us in the
Yeah.
crowd?
No, that'd be a fat head of Chris.
Yeah, just me. Do it.
All right.
I already
They
gave. I
they
gave you
still
the.
do fans?
I gave you the headshots. Just do the one that's like.
You want me to do one of those and print them out?
Yeah.
We'll have two. Surprise!
just block-
Surprise victory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just block everyone's view
Yeah.
behind us.
That'd be funny.
20 by 20.
All right. Well, look forward to a fat head of Chris's face on the Elimination
Oh
Chamber.
man, I'm hyped.
PLE.
Yeah, come say hi.
So that is a wrap for this episode of the Chi-Town Shoot podcast. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, rate us, and leave your feedback. Tune in next time for more Wrestling Madness. Until then, keep marking out.